Like anywhere in the country, a boxing club, the jewel in the crown. It's the main place on the estate that's for everybody. Don't matter who you are, you come here, everyone's the same and everyone's got a chance to progress.
Boxing to me is literally my life. Throughout the week, I'm always training, making sacrifices, and in the end, it'll all be worth it.
Hardest thing in boxing is walking into that gym, getting anybody from A to B. That's my success. Their success is my success.
I'd be missing something now without boxing. Like, it's just become a part of my identity and a part of who I am.
As long as the people walking through their doors are becoming better versions of themselves from when they walked in, I think that's what our job is. I've had the Parkinson's boxing for about 2 years, well over 2 years now, and it was something that sat with me that I knew I needed to do because my granddad was a big part of my life, and he'd had Parkinson's, and I'd seen bits and bobs and different things doing stuff, and I thought, I'm going to put my own spin on this. I have around 30 participants, and I started with 4 people, and I went down to a coffee morning at the local church, and I'd got some funding off the local council at the time, because the local council up here have been fabulous, you know, backing me, the power boxing, you know. And I sort of rocks up at this coffee morning, and I've got a bit about me, and I says, I've got some funding and I want to put on a Parkinson's boxing class. Is anybody interested? And I think they thought, who's this idiot? Anyway, yeah, 2 years later, we've got 30 people, we've got 3 classes a week.
Come on, let's get the Mystic Crab on.
David and I came to the club, had a chat, and we started just as a trial, really, with 4 people.
4 people.
And we had no idea what was going to happen, whether people would be interested.
I'm not altogether sure what brought me here, but I just got a note that it was starting. And I suddenly thought, oh, I'd like to check that out. But I was a bit nervous about it, but I decided I would just come along once. And it's been fantastic.
I bought my first pair of boxing gloves at age 76. So, and people are mighty impressed. The children and grandchildren, so encouraging, rather than sitting around that you're actually doing something and keeping going.
People who've got Parkinson's are much more aware of the importance of physical activity in helping them with their condition.
And what the good thing about boxing is you're using your arms and your legs at the same time. And it's challenging you to do right, left, left, right. And it's absolutely incredible, apart from general health, well-being, you feel good. Because sometimes, it sounds wrong in some ways, but the punch bag's the illness.
It's given me a real physical confidence, actually, that I didn't have before. At first, I was a bit worried about coming here because I thought I'd make a fool of myself and people would be looking at me. And it was exactly the opposite. Everyone's just fantastically supportive and everybody wants each other to do well.
If I could bottle up their enthusiasm and their determination and give it to me boxers, you know, I'd have a gym full of champions, because they do put 100% effort in and want to improve and want to improve their lives. And yeah, so it's been marvellous. And you know what? It's been good for me, because I come here on a Wednesday and I think, what am I whinging about these fabulous people? And it just picks me up. You know, it humbles me, levels me out, and I think, I'm not doing it to, oh, look what I'm doing. I'm doing it because I genuinely love doing what I'm doing, and that class has totally proved to me that there's a different side to boxing, and it's changed my mind.
Yes, doesn't matter what your age is, what stage of Parkinson's you're at, you are welcome and you can do it.
Nobody's going to say you're doing it wrong. Nobody's going to say the fact that you've turned up and you're exercising. I mean, some people can only do 5-10 minutes, some people 2 minutes. Doesn't matter, as long as you're here.
Someone set a club up again, up Eastfield, and a friend from Hull says, there's a gym opening up in Eastfield. He says, you're originally from Eastfield, aren't you? I says, yeah. So, well, why don't you get behind the guy? So I come up, because it was on the estate I was born on. I come up, and after no time at all, I got other people on board who I knew who'd been involved in boxing from the estate, from going back years ago, and we were going well. And he decided to shut down and move into town with the club. But we didn't want that. We wanted a club to stay on this estate. So he shut it down, and we went and reopened it again, but called it Westway instead of Eastfield. That was about maybe 25, 26 years ago.
I've known George since I was a little boy, and then to come and take over the gym that he's had for the last 30 years is quite an honour, really. You know, we're doing some amazing things. He's let me. He probably thinks, what's he want to do now? Because I have some crazy ideas, and I've changed a lot of things. And I'll be in the same position that George is in, where someone will come and do the same to me, and I'll be like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But he's let me do everything I want to do, and I know that must have been really tough, but I respect the bones off the man. We have all sorts going on. So in the daytime, I run a company called Off the Hook Scarborough CIC, and I work with different schools, different organisations, different groups. So we've got different bits and bobs going on there: mental health, well-being, mentoring, that sort of thing. And then on an evening, we run a traditional boxing club. We've got competitive boxers, juniors, seniors. We've got introduction to boxing classes to get the young ones going. You know, it's on 6 days a week. So there's always 7 days a week probably, because there's always someone here doing something. Loose shoulder.
The biggie was introducing women into boxing where they could fight amateur, and then eventually it was introduced into the Olympics. And I think a lot of trainers like myself at first, you know, we didn't get a big rush of women boxers in, but the big thing that changed women's boxing for me, we had a young girl that come over from Germany called Nina Menke. She come as an exchange student to learn English and all that. She did speak good English when she come over. She come up here training, and she says, when I leave school, I'm going to come back and box for you. Well, when someone says that to you at 15-year-old, it goes straight over your head. Where she was staying, it was a guy that used to come and train with us, who used to take exchange students in. And he says, oh, her father's been in touch with me. She's got in sixth form college and she's coming back over to box for you. Well, I'd never trained a girl before. And I thought, bloody hell, how am I going to train a girl? She's coming from Germany. And I thought, wait on. I train boxers. I don't train girls. I don't train boys. I train boxers. I'll train her like I train any other boxer. And, you know, that story evolved and evolved. You know, I'm still in touch with Nina. Eventually, after so many years, she went back to Germany. She got boxing internationally for Germany, for the German side, eventually turning professional, and a couple of years ago winning a world title and still holding the world title now.
I've been boxing at Westway since May last year, but boxing in general for about 5 years. It's always nerve-wracking walking into a new boxing gym, I think, particularly as a woman, because you know there ain't going to be that many of you. But as soon as I came here, I felt immediately welcomed. I knew it was the place for me. It was like I knew I was going to get that attention that I needed and the level of coaching that I needed. I'd always wanted to do some kind of martial arts, and then it was New Year, and I was like, right, I'm just going to go give it a try. And I went to a ladies' session first, but it wasn't really quite what I was after. I was wanting to learn boxing, and it was a bit more boxer-sized. I would love to go professional one day, but that's not my current goal. I just want to do really well in the amateurs and just keep improving and building my confidence in the ring. In the amateurs, you can box until you're 40. So I've got plenty of time. I was later starting, but I think quite a lot of women are actually starting later in life because it's becoming such a bigger thing than it used to be. So you're getting the young ones, but you're also getting a lot of women that are starting at a similar age. So, you know, if you want to get into it later in life, you're not alone. There's a lot of people out there still doing it. I would really encourage anyone to get into it, even if you don't ever want to fight. I think learning boxing or any martial art is really empowering for women.
That's it. All that centre.
There's two ways I look at what's a good coach. A good coach is judged by other people, peers in the boxing, about champions he trains. Sometimes those champions will be champions any club they go to. A good coach is when a young person comes in that gym, maybe lacks confidence, maybe a little bit overweight, maybe has a few family problems, maybe a little bit of on the spectrum of something, and you try and look around those hurdles and get them over the hurdles. They might not be the greatest boxer, but they end up boxing.
Last one. Hands up, chins down. I can get you. So that's not controlling range, is it? Yeah.
I had a very, very special relationship with my coach. Like, I never cry, ever. I must be going soft. I had the best relationship with Tommy because I walked in there a troubled young man, and he turned me into a real man. I absolutely idolised that man. He's my hero. To be honest with you, like my two best mates were two old men. Like, if Tommy was alive now, Tommy would be about 97 or 98 years old, and Lenny'd be well into his hundreds. And you know, I spent all my days travelling around with those great guys. And one thing I learned, I think, is I learned some old-fashioned values off old-fashioned men, and they taught me how to be a man. And I'll be forever in their debt and forever grateful. Not just Tommy and Lenny, but also my granddad and lots of other people in the boxing world. But boxing has just been my entire life, spending my time with those guys. I have a bit of time out of boxing where life takes over, you have children, you get jobs, blah, 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 and then you're navigating straight back to boxing and it consumes you again. But no, my relationship with Tommy was like a father figure to me, a mentor, and I miss him a lot, but yeah, I think he, hopefully there's a little piece of Tommy inside me. And I remember him saying, If you don't achieve your dreams as a boxer, son, you'll make a pretty damn good coach.
He's been brilliant as Ryan, yeah. Riley really looks up to Ryan. He's just, obviously when he first walked in he was nervous, and Ryan just makes everything easy for them, you know? He just brings them on leaps and bounds.
If one day you're just not feeling the best, and not in a bad way, but you've just been hit with a couple of punches and you're not feeling the best, you're oh, I can do better. And he tells you a bit of advice to get you up.
I've always said that Ryan is one of a kind. I have never ever come across anyone in my whole life, and I've been all around the world in my life, that is like Ryan. He's just exceptional, isn't he?
The boxing club is fabulous for the estate because we've got young boys and girls, young adults, like you say, different groups coming through here and using this space for something positive.
What's important, this gym, it stays like a community gym because we've got the backing of the community here. This, as far as the State Scarborough goes, haven't got a great deal on this estate, but it's a breeding ground for boxing and sports people because your greatest champions start on estates like this.
It gives them discipline and gives them something to live for, something that they can go out and enjoy. Keeps them off the streets, keeps them on the straight and narrow, and they've got a family. It's a family.
I've got to confess, I didn't know about Westway before I started, but the more I've learned about the club, the more fantastic I think it is. And it's for people of all ages. I think it's a really important local community thing. It's kind of a hub and a heart of the community, yeah.
People say, whose club is this? It's nobody's club, it's Westway's club. And when I'm dead and gone, Ryan will be thinking to himself, right, I've got to find someone to replace me. I've got another 20 years left.
You just thought there's no one else daft enough, I'll have Ryan.
Yeah, you've got to find someone daft. We've got a gentleman who's backing us privately, who's did the rugby club, did the running club in Scarborough, running track and done other ventures like that. We start out with sort of like a similar type of building without the back. It'll have 2 classrooms above, you know, then it'll be more helpful to the community of people who are not involved in boxing, but we'll open it up to sort of like, you know, lads who are maybe, and girls who the schools aren't working for them, stuff like that.
It's not just the boxing, we're getting a new football pitch outside. We really are doing our bit for this community because, like George always says, Westway Boxing Club is the jewel in the crown of the estate. It's the hub, and I think it really is. What's the future for Westway? To continue being an amazing community boxing club, to reach the wider community with bigger, better programs of like stuff I'm already doing. Keep ticking them boxes. Maybe kind of alternative provision. We've got to see how that goes. But definitely bigger, better. Everything we're doing now, but on a bigger, better scale because we're going to have a bigger, better facility. Hopefully I'll make him proud, or I am making him proud, and I continue. It's my turn in it for the next 30 years.
That's good stuff, mate. Come on, Tommy. Come on, Ethan. Can't be stopped. There we are again. Again.
Hardest thing in boxing is walking into that gym. And if you stay long enough, you'll walk out with a confidence that'll be able to handle yourself because you've been in this community and we get all sorts in this gym and we all mix together.
This is a very special place for the people on this estate, for the people of Scarborough, the wider community. This place serves so many different people going through so many different things. Long may it continue, the power of boxing.
It's part of who I am now, I think. I'm a Westway fighter and I'm proud of that.
Boxing means a lot to me, like, I can't express how much it means to me.
Westway to me is like another family. It's my home, my second home. It's where I fight out of, and I'm proud of that.
Don't matter what colour vest it is, don't matter what colour shorts, boxing's boxing. I'm proud to be Westway, and let's see what we can do at Westway.